This is a survival and bushcraft channel based out of the UK, but there will be some international stuff, hopefully, maybe, in the future. I do go to America in train, so, you know, there'll definitely be some of that in there as well. Just want to welcome everyone to the channel. This is something I kind of wanted to do for a while, didn't really get round to it, and then, you know, things happen, and here we are. So today, we're going to have a nice solo overnight camp. Nothing major. I'm actually practicing a little bit of intermittent fasting, so I'm not going to have any food with me for tonight. I have got some nice drinks to have for the evening though. What I'm going to do, set up an enclosed tarp tent to keep off what is probably going to be a bit of rain later on. Going to look at doing some bow drill and maybe a couple of camp crafts around that. In the area I'm in at the moment, there's tons of deadwood around. It's really good. Got nice grass underfoot, so sleeping is going to be pretty comfortable. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. This is wood I've used a few times before. I know I've got running water just off up there and about 2-3 acres to find materials in. So that's probably going to be the next bit once we've got the shelter set up. So first things first, let's get the shelter going. Horribly wrong. That has gone horribly wrong. New plan. Not going to hang the bag up because that didn't work. As I said, lots of deadwood, unfortunately very dead. Bag's going to sit here. I'm going to set up the tarp between these two trees. Triangle going to the back. It will make more sense as I build it. 36 bank line, 10 foot by 10 foot oilskin tarp. Let's get to it. So, once the tarp is out on the floor, you want it essentially upside down, so whatever your inside is, you want facing up at this point. Now I need to stake out the two ends here and halfway across on the back. Okay, now we've got our floor set up nicely. What we're going to do now, go to the anchor point midway on the opposite side. So that's the opposite anchor point to this one. We're going to connect that up to that tree there. Now this might take a little bit of mucking around to get it exactly where it ought to go, but we'll see how it goes. First things first, bowline in the bank line. Okay, so spindle found, or something that can be made into a spindle, and carve that out, and to go with a half board. So I need a bow, and then I need a bearing block. Right, that gives a bit. Now I need a wall. Okay, that's pretty much there. Now I've got half bearing block, spindle to carve. Could take a little while, but let's get to it. Okay, so after about half hour, maybe 40 minutes worth of preparation, I've got my various pieces. I've got my bearing block, I've got my spindle, I've got my board, which unfortunately I split the whole lot off, but I think I can make it work. Divot put in, so now it's time to try and do a burn-in. The only advantage is it's nice and soft on the ground here. So now let's just see if we can get this to run. Okay, so that means my bowstring's not tight enough. So okay, that's the burn-in accomplished. I'll be taking my jumper off for the next one, carve notch and get the fire leg together. Okay, so I've got my notch all carved out, bearing block, everything else ready to go, initial fire leg done. I've taken off a layer because this is probably going to take a lot of energy. I've got my bird's nest here, some little fluffy bits. I'm going to find a bit of extra straw. It's just some dry grass that I picked up on the way here. Bow's gone. Right, I think when the bow dies, it's time to call it. Well, most of the way there, just got to work a little bit. Well, with the bow string on the bow gone, it takes a fair bit to do that to number 36. That's gives you an idea of how much effort was going into it. But for some reason, didn't want to work. I might give it one more shot. Alternative, got a nice piece of flint I found in the old pocket boy. Get some sparks into that. Might catch, might not. Let's have a go. So what I'm going to do with that is, in a word, cheat. Over here, got acetate. Other brands are available, just not as good. I'm going to strip this down into a bird's nest. Right, that's not going to work on non-charred material. Okay, getting somewhere. Total failure. Didn't want to have to do this. Very disappointed. So that is how to disappointingly start a fire. Yeah, really gutted about the bow drill. It seemed to be so close. Just couldn't quite get it. I need to work, definitely work on my form. See how I do that. Probably get some advice from a couple of people, see how I've gone. But for now, fire. Just after a long time and cheating a lot. So yeah, the theory's all great. I've just got to get better at it, which means more practice. So that's something to bear in mind. Yeah, you know, let's get things together, a bit more organised, get this fire going. So a bit of a recap. Overall, pretty pleased, very pleased with the shelter. That's come out really well. Definitely a configuration I'll use in the future. I mean, I could close this down, make it fully watertight if I really wanted to. I'm not overly concerned about the weather this evening. So really pleased with the shelter. Not pleased with the fire situation. That's got to be said. Yeah, really disappointed that I couldn't get that. I think there's definitely a few learning points, as I said at the end. Maybe work on the spindle. Definitely work on the bow. I think it was, if I'm honest, I think it was probably, I don't know, 75% of the way there. I think it was just a little bit to do with how I was sitting, how I was doing it. So small things that need improvement. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lovely evening. As I say, I'm not concerned about weather. Probably going to be a bit of a cheat in the morning with the fire. I had sort of planned to maybe make some char tonight, but this is a good starting point. You know, I'm working towards becoming an instructor, but I've got to work a lot more on those little things. You know, bow drill's a huge one. Yeah, but you know, it's great. It's brilliant being out here. It's so peaceful. You can't hear anything other than the fire, than the wildlife. The light's just starting to go, but with that fire, it's trapping all the heat under here. It's beautiful and warm. When I go out to get firewood, I notice quite quickly. So I think the name of the game now is make an ice cup of mud water, which will count as dinner. Yeah, no, definitely hungry. Burnt a lot of calories doing that bow drill. So yeah, I think let's do that. Let's make some mud water. All right. Right. Morning. So, good night. A little bit of rain throughout the evening. Still raining a little bit now. Lovely and warm. The fire kept going for a good while. Yeah. Time to slowly pack up and make a move, I suppose. Still, it's always nice waking up to bird song and a nice bit of rain hitting on the top of the tarp, especially when it's not hitting me.
Hi guys, thank you very much for watching. I've had a great overnight out in the woods. It's been interesting. It's definitely given me a lot to learn, a lot of bits to practice on. But overall, I can't complain. I've had a really nice evening. Didn't rain too heavily, which is quite nice. Things could have gone more smoothly, but that's just repetition. You know, more and more practice, it means things go smoother and smoother. This will be a journey as I get better and better, as I work towards becoming an instructor. So hopefully you'll stick around and join me for that. So in the meantime, get outdoors, go A.W.O.L. Thanks very much.